Hello everyone and welcome to CSGB Racing F2 Round 2 and the sprint race for Australia. We have taken the results of last night's feature race from Australia and reversed them, and we're going to go racing over 25% for our sprint race. Just me on comms tonight and just me not streaming, but we'll have this uploaded as soon as possible. For circumstances as confusing and as chaotic as last night's two races. So just to recap, James Dovey took the win in last night's feature race to move to the top of the F2 Championship, but that means he starts at the back tonight. Bowers and Rizanovsky rounded out the podium places, so they are going to have to fight their way through the field, much like Netsky did last night in the F1 sprint race. Whereas we've got Peldy, who was first of the many to go in the first few laps last night. He starts on pole, but he'll be followed by two of qualifying's top performers, Jagermau and Østberg, our Norwegian duo, who were... Jagermau was on pole last night, but fell victim early at turns 11 and 12, as did Østberg, the winner from the feature race at Bahrain. As the drivers begin their formation lap, we will just get the necessary visual accompaniments up that we need. And oh, look at that, Jagermau, the only medium tyre starter on the yellow walled mediums. Everyone else on the red softs. So we'll have to see if an alternate strategy could be pivotal for Jagermau. One of the advantages with the quick pace of the softs at the end, but you got to think an early safety car could see the soft runners able to switch to the mediums and get to the end. Just running through everyone here tonight, except Bannister in the AlphaTauri, but his teammate Østberg was here, then not here, then here, then maybe not here again, I'm not sure. Then he was here at 8 o'clock, but he's back and ready to race. He was leading after one round, but the big switch last night with him failing to finish and Dovey in the Williams taking the victory means Dovey has opened up a quite substantial lead at the top, but it could all change for tonight's race as the drivers retake the grid, ready for the start of the race. Quite a quick formation lap as Peldy takes his front spot. Everyone has now lined up. 5 red lights, and they're out, but they're not away, and they're still not away, and they're still not away, and they're still not away. I don't quite know what's happened here. Engines are revving, now they're away. And oh, there's a crash on the line. There's end plates flying. There's a Williams, I think, lost a lot of ground as we go into the first corner. And Peldy's got away from Jagermau. The Haas of JW has jumped up. As Østberg, he's in a second place round the outside of Jagermau. Followed by JW, then comes Anton, Kieran, just Mikey in the Renault. That will be changed because I think he failed to take his car, but they've all got through, and we have a safety car. The full course yellow, the yellow dot waiting at the exit of turn 2. We've got a safety car. I'm not overly sure why. It's Gogs' Red Bull. I think he is the big loser there. I think there was a lot of carnage there. Adam, a Norwich fan as well, have fallen right back. Not overly sure what happened because we were focusing on a great move from Ursper to take second place from Jägermau. But disaster for a few drivers. But the safety car means they can make their one pit stop, they can bunch up. It's not the end of their race. Plenty of time in this as we see a potentially quite frantic dive for the pits. Peldy stays out, Ursper in, Jägermau in as well. There's a few more staying out than I would have expected. Let's see, yeah, oh, hard tyres for Jägermau, hard tyres for Ursper. It's Pelderargus, Kieran, Just Mikey and Tomasz who have all stayed out. And now we've got a massive variation in strategy and tyre compounds. Rizanovski's being held in the pits and then released. I'm not quite sure what that was for. I'm just having a look at race director. There's no major penalties. Must have been a wing change for the Alfa Romeo because his teammate's still out there and in the lead. He's got through one lap in the lead, but I just think that's safe. I think that safety car would have been a big chance to get in and to save time with a cheap stop. But I'm wondering if Rizanovski's wing change means the Alfa Romeo drivers were in communications, and it meant they couldn't. Rizanovski had relayed to Peldy that he needed to stop. So not much to report on now as they go around on the safety car, other than the predicted stop strategy for lap 7 or lap 8 goes completely out the window for 12 of the 16 drivers. They're all close under the safety car. Still waiting for a few to bunch up as they come into as the leaders come around the last two corners. So the safety car will stay out another lap as my Twitter and Discord is going crazy with the news that Sergio Perez has announced he's leaving Racing Point, which I'm now realising won't be breaking news when this video goes up, as Pro Mayhem, he's making a second stop. No wing change, he's tactically, very tactically, gone onto the mediums. I think he would have been a soft starter onto hard, so he might have messed up with his tyre choice for the first stop, and now he's thinking the mediums are the better option. And he's made 2 pit stops, and he's managed to still get ahead of Norwich fan, who had an absolutely spectacular crash last night in qualifying. I recommend you go and check that out. One of quite a few spectacular crashes through 11 and 12. Very tricky right-left, left-right chicane as the field starts to bunch up before we get to the Sector 2, Sector 3 line. So I think, and I'm right, safety car in this lap, we should get racing back underway. 2 safety cars, I think combined full and virtual is the limit in a 25% race, so only a possible one more. It's Peldy switching into tactical mode now. He's got to time and plan this right, because he's got fellow soft runners right behind him and a few drivers looking to pounce and clear this group quickly because they've made their mandatory stop. So you could argue at the moment the race starts with Ursper in 5th place, but we're going to focus on the leaders as Peldy comes round this very slow penultimate corner, and he gets on the power out of the final corner and he's away. And it looked a pretty good start, pretty good restart. Kieran not too far back, Thomas, and then Ursper. As Anton looks for a move on the inside of turn 1 on Jagermau. Oh, I think he's just about got away with that. A little aggressive, but it looked okay. As Jagermau's now under pressure from Dovey around the outside of turn 3. Little contact, but minimal. And now JW's going to have a look. As Jagermau's wide again. Bowers tucking him behind, but I think they're all safely through the restart as Pelderelgis leads from Kieran. A bit of a gap now to 3rd place Mikey, who's under substantial pressure from Tomasz. Oh, look at this. It's Anton. He's on the inside of Ursper. On the medium tyres compared to Ursper's hardening. Gets the move done into 13. A lovely move to take 5th place. Pelderelgis leading by 8/10. But remember, all these 4 soft runners still required to make a pit stop. And now we've got James Dovey in the Williams. He's through on Ursper. So in this early part of the race, the medium tyres seem to be getting the better of the hards. Anton and Dovey have both made good moves on Ursper. Oh, as JW gets forced off. I think that was by Jagermau's McLaren. And it's allowed Bowers through as well into 9th place. So now Cogs in the Red Bull is having a look, but he's run wide. And Rizanovski's got the run. As Rizanovski goes defensive for an Avon, that's very close. As Adam on the inside, that's a nice move. Oh no. No, that was Adam defending from Pro Mayhem, sorry. It's... The driver can be so close to cars in front and behind, you don't know whether they're attacking or defending. As we cut back to the front, these soft runners, bit of a gap from Peldy to Kieran, breaking that second as he comes into the home straight, breaking that DRS toe, which will be open, I think, for Kieran on this. No, not seen DRS reactivated. Jagermau looks like he's got a very good run on Bowers. Bowers defensive on the inside. Jagermau going around the outside. Tries to switch back, but now the switch back means he's got the outside for turn 4. And Bowers broke late with the inside, but looked fair and holds the position. As we can see, these soft runners just haven't been able to get away from the medium tyres of Anton's Ferrari, who's, I think, really going to have benefited from that cheap pit stop under the safety car. Best thing now for these guys could be a second safety car, because they are going to come out in quite... I think they're going to come out right at the back of the pack. It's a 22, 23 second... Oh, Rizanovski! He's lost 2 places to Adam and to Abzi. You got damage? Yes, right end plate. He's missing on the Alfa Romeo and he's running wide. Not sure what happened. But Adam and Absy got through. As JW comes into the pits. Has he got damage? He slowed down very early to avoid speeding. All 16 still running as we approach half distance. And Pelderag is still leading. It's Adam. He's fallen back behind Norwich fan and fallen way back, 5 seconds adrift. Not sure if there was an incident there as Pro Mayhem gets past that damage now for Brzezinowski. The corner where you don't normally see a lot of overtakes, but Pro Mayhem up into 12th place. Bowers got the inside of Ursper, would have had the DRS through that long sort of banked right-hander, and he's making moves into 7th place. We see action in the pit lane. Just Mikey and Tomash. Pelderagis and Kieran went on. And Brzezinowski in. He knows he can't continue with that damage. A chance for him to get on the soft tyres and see if he can salvage something from this race. We look, the field a little more spread out now, particularly at the front. Anton and James Dovey. You could argue this is net P1 and P2. They are 2 seconds clear of Anton's teammate Bowers in the Ferrari. Ferrari leading the team championship in this tier with, I'd say, very consistent performances from both drivers in the first 3 rounds, which lends itself to a good championship campaign. Surely this is the end of the soft tyres for Pelderagis. Kieran stays out. He'll still need to make his stop, and he's under pressure from Anton. Not quite there. There's now us, as James Dovey in the Williams is having a look as well. It's very hard to make moves around the outside. A little wide. Anton holding on to the 2nd place. So they may be losing time to this group because Bowers has got into the fight. Ursper on the hard tyres, hoping they can come good in the latter part of the race. He's 2.5 seconds behind this group. There's 2 Ferraris in this fight, could be very beneficial as Kieran goes very defensive very early to the inside. Anton gets to move around the outside. Kieran not really fighting that one. Kieran stays out again. I think he's begging and praying for a second safety car, but it's not coming. 11 and 12 doesn't seem to be quite the same obstacle for our drivers as it was last night, as James Dovey forcing Kieran a little wide through 2. That's always difficult in those high speed chicanes, but Dovey through into 2nd place, and so's Bowers got the move quite comfortably on the inside of 3. Kieran kicks up a bit of dirt. Those softs will be screaming now. I mean, he's lost 3 places in half a lap, and Ursper's trying to pull him in. Gogs, who had that horrific start, was last after the after the safety car came out on lap 1, has once again been marching his way through the field. He's made 10 places in 5 or 6 laps. And has climbed up into 6th place. As we see this fight. If this was real life, you'd think it was 1996. 2 Ferraris and a Williams. You didn't think you'd see this battling for the lead in 2020, but on this game anything's possible. And I really do mean that, Codemasters. Anything's possible. As Kieran is now double digits on those laps and still going. As James Dovey. Oh, sorry, James Dovey. He's got the lead. We caught a little glimpse of it. But there's been some great overtaking manoeuvres into turn 3 in this race. And James Dovey, who won last night, we should remind us, started all the way at the back. He leads with just 5 laps to go. On board with Bowers. You can see his teammate, can see James Dovey. Not stretching away just yet. This race isn't over just yet. Zusper hasn't quite, I don't think, got the performance out of those hard tyres he would have wanted. Nor Jaegermel either, down in 7th place as Gogs. I think the mediums will be holding on just nicely. We'll still be in attack mode looking for this P5. It'll be P4 as well when Kieran pits, but not seeing that as just Mikey has got past Norwich Fan, and so has the Mercedes of Tomasz. Norwich Fan was going very slowly there. I think even 9 laps I think on these softs is a bit too much. It's Gogs and Osper. Oh! I think there was contact. Esper's had to go off onto the grass and Jaegermel has got through. That one might be looked at. Didn't see any reason why Usper should have been out there on the grass. Oh! I now understand Kieran's thinking. We've got rain. Lap 12, 3 and a bit laps to go as Bowers and Anton, Ferrari fighting. It's Styria all over again. I know these two are trying to do the team play, but as Kieran stays out again, and as the light rain starts to come down, I'm not sure it's going to get heavy enough. I don't think this rain's going to get heavy enough in time to call for inters, but he's clinging for a safety car, or for the rain to really start, I think. That Ferrari, oh, I call it a little mini battle, has given James Dovey a 2.5 second lead, and well, we thought he had it in the bag last night, 11 seconds clear, but penalties meant he only took the win by half a second, so don't count all your eggs before they become chickens just yet. We see the closest on-field, on-track battle at the minute, Pro Mayhem chasing the Haas of Absley. The slipperier and the wetter it becomes, the more dangerous it is to try and try and force a move that just isn't there, as Kieran's gone around again. Now, there's 2 laps to go, which means we're not going to see any more safety cars. There's no safety car or virtual safety car in the last 2 laps, and Gogs looking for the move. That's very tight. Oh, but that's nicely done, and he should have the better traction. He gets around the outside. Kieran a bit swervy. Surely McLaren will want Kieran to let Jagemal go. As JW's out. Ah, is that? No, that's not in the pit lane. That's at the end of the pit lane. That's turn 1 and 2. I can see the grey dot and the yellow flashing boards. If I can see them, Lewis, you should be able to. As it's green, we won't see JW's car. Not entirely sure what happened there, but I think just lost it at 1 and 2. These drivers are really now having to lift through 11 and 12. So much pressure in Nike. As James Dovey starts his final lap, as Kieran, he's going to have to pit. Do you know, I think it was worth a gamble on a second safety car, on the rain coming and getting heavier, but it's not worked out for him. But I always commend drivers for taking a chance with the strategy, trying something different, trying something that might not pay off. Jagemal and Gogs. Key battle for 4th place. Not quite there for Jagemal. He's got plenty of overtake and he's using it, and he's sort of just keeping his car there. Didn't really commit enough to that one to be left space. Sort of a half lunge. Oh, as Gogs was very slippery out of 12. But again, Jagemal too far back. As we cross now to the line, as James Dovey in the Williams takes a magnificent Australia. Oh no, it's not a double win. He had a 3-second penalty. I've not seen any penalties flash up. So James Dovey, I thought, had the win. He's dropped down below both Ferraris. And it's a Ferrari 1-2. As Gogs takes 4th, Jagemal 5th, Absi 6th, Ursper 7th, Pro Mayhem, Pelderargus has jumped as well. So much changing. See there, I see now all the race control penalties coming up. We'll have to check the fastest lap as well. But this time, penalties are crucial for the Williams. James Dovey drops down to 3rd, and Ferrari take a quite extraordinary 1-2. Bowers wins it from Anton. Dovey in 3rd place. Gogs is 4th, just managing to hold off Jagemal in the end. Pelderargus, I think he was the one who kept it clean. He jumped right back up to take 6th place. We'll go through all the results in just a moment. We're waiting for the Williams of Norwich Fan to cross over the line. There it is. It's a quite extraordinary result. Bowers driver of the day. And when you take the win from that far back, very hard to argue against that, as Ferrari, they're ecstatic. Schumacher's got a very devilish grin on him. As he almost spills his champagne. We might as well commentate on Ferrari at the top of the podium, because you're not going to see it in real life, so a real phenomenal moment for the team. So here is the full race recap result with the penalties flashing up that will now catch you up. Bowers wins it from Anton. James Dovey, I think, will still keep hold of the championship lead. He can't be too disappointed starting right at the back to take 3rd place. That's the podium. Gogs, with his best result of the season so far, 4th. Jagermau is 5th. 6th place for Pelderagus. 7th for Abzi. 8th for Ursper. 9th for Just Mikey. 10th for Pro Mayhem. They are your top 10. And your point scorers. We will... I think JW got the fastest lap and probably kept it clean. We'll have to check on that. Whew. I'm going to take my breath and recover from the incredible nervousness and anxiety of commentating, but it was a sensational race. Ferrari 1-2 and James Dovey with 3rd place. So, whew, not quite as chaotic as last night, but still a bit frantic to try and put on and organise. We will be back starting on Monday next week for round 3 of our 12-round season. France, the next track for both tiers. The action kicks off 7 PM British time for F1. Their feature race will be Bowers, our winner from tonight, winning on the track, doing the job in the commentary box. He'll be joined by Dane Starr for F1 on Monday and Tuesday night at 7. And then the F2 are back, feature race at 8 o'clock, and then the sprint race at 7 on the Wednesday. Whew! I want to thank everyone for racing tonight and sort of bearing with us as we were trying to get this organised. It'll be up as soon as possible, but we'll see you next time, next week for France. This is Rainman /Ben signing out. Ciao.